Hi, I'm Nike trainer Stef Turner and I'm here with Stylerunner Health Club today to take you through a yoga practice and also to celebrate the new Nike Luxe Yoga collection. I'm wearing the collection right now in the lilac set. I absolutely love this set and I love the collection. It's available on Stylerunner right now and it features Nike's latest technology in fabric, the Nike Infinalon, and it's super soft and just super smooth on the skin. It's just perfect for yoga. Today guys, I'm taking you through a 45-minute yoga practice. It's called the Energy Flow Workout. It's on the Nike Training Club app. Super easy for you to make sport a daily habit when you have this app. Let's get started guys. We're going to begin on the mat in a meditation. If you have a cushion, like a cushion off your couch or off your bed, that would be super useful for this session today. So let's go. And we're going to just begin today in a seated position. So this is where your cushion might come in handy for you. I like to sit on a cushion in meditation. So you can just grab a cushion off your couch or off your bed and something like that. Or you could even seat yourself down on a yoga block. And I just want you to sit up nice and tall once you've found your comfortable seat. Place your hands on your thighs, really lengthen your spine and start to take some deep breaths in and out through your nose. And I'd like you to create a personal mantra for your practice today. Mantra translates as mind tool. A mantra is a phrase that we can repeat to ourselves to keep us focused and keep us on track. And the way I like to create personal mantras is to think of something that you want to overcome. For example, if you want to overcome stress, think of the opposite word, which might be calm. And then just simply add the words I am before your word. So in my example instance, it would be I am calm. So just take a few moments to create your personal mantra. Take one more deep breath in, repeating this personal mantra to yourself. And then blinking open your eyes if you have them closed. And I'd now like you to remove any prop that you may be seated on out of the way. And I want you to come into a kneeling position. So hands on your thighs, squeezing the legs together, shoulders relaxing down. You might like to close your eyes again here. And we're going to move through some diaphragmatic breathing. So what I'd like you to do here is place your hands onto your belly just below your lower ribs. So in fact, I've got my thumbs just placed on top of my lower ribs and the rest of my hands on my lower belly, the fingers pointing towards each other. And sitting up nice and tall, can you breathe in and out of your nose here? And as you breathe in, I want you to feel your hands expanding away from each other. And then coming back towards each other as you exhale. So inhale, feel those hands expanding. Exhale, feeling your belly button drawing in towards your spine. Now you can breathe in and out through just your nose, which is my preferred way of breathing in a yoga practice. Or if you prefer, you can part your lips and breathe out of your mouth. So inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. Let's do 3 more rounds of this diaphragmatic breathing. Last round here. Gently opening your eyes. Take your hands out onto the mat in front of you. And walk your knees back until they're underneath your hips. From here, we're going to move into a few rounds of cat and cow stretch. But before we do so, I want to emphasize how important it is in this yoga practice to maintain a really strong base of support through our hands. So make sure that you spread your fingers out really wide and you press the palms of your hands and all your knuckles firmly into the mat. From here, can you really push the mat away from you? So we're not just relaxing down here, but really keeping active through the arms. And can you wrap your triceps back towards your body and your biceps, can you spin them forwards? So the elbow creases in your arms are pointing forwards and the pointy bits of your elbows are pointing back. From here, moving into a few rounds of cat and cow stretch. So bringing your chin to your chest, pressing your spine up towards the sky as you exhale. Inhale, lengthening your spine into cow stretch. Exhale, round the spine into your cat stretch. Inhale, back the other way. Cow stretch. And I want you to really focus today on coordinating your movement with your breathing. And if you mix it up sometimes, that's totally fine. But see if you can coordinate your breath with the movement. So inhale as you come into this cow pose. Exhale as you move through the cat. Let's do one more round here. Inhale, presenting the heart forward, tailbone lifts. Exhale, round into cat stretch. And now find a neutral spine, which is a nice flat back position. From here, can you extend one leg straight back behind you, really push firmly into the arms, extend the other leg back behind you so we're holding high plank. Can you take 3 deep breaths here in high plank? Really make sure that your shoulders are forward over your wrists, your legs are nice and long, and you're really lengthening your spine. Take those 3 deep breaths, and can you repeat your mantra that you set at the very start of the practice? Can you repeat that again to yourself? From here, I want you to bend your knees and come all the way into downward dog. So we're bending the knees a little just to create a little bit of space through the hamstrings, as this is the first downward facing dog of the class. So you can keep your knees soft, and the goal with downward dog is to have more weight in your legs than in your arms. So if you find yourself in this position, definitely bend the knees to help you press the hips back. Can you push your shoulders up towards your ears, and then maybe you're straightening out the legs if all those other elements are working for you. I see a lot of common mistakes in downward dog, and I'll show you a few now. One is hyperextension of the arms, and that's where people press their chest too far back towards their thighs. So what we want to do here is actually keep our head in line with our biceps and draw your lower ribs in towards your body. We also don't want to be relaxing into the shoulders. It's actually a really active, strengthening position for the arms. Can you push your shoulders up towards your ears? And then start to tilt your tailbone up high to the sky while keeping your low ribs in. From here, I want you to rise up high onto your tippy toes, bend your knees, and I want you to look with your eyes between your thumbs. Can you now walk your feet all the way up to the top end of the mat? And just holding here for your first forward fold of the practice today. Take some deep breaths. From here, keeping a slight bend in your knees. So if you struggle to touch the floor in forward fold, bending your knees is really going to help you out. And then slowly, keeping the knees slightly bent or a lot bent, roll all the way up through your spine to standing, all the way to the top of the mat here. Can you inhale, lift your arms all the way up high, palms touch at the top. Exhale, bring your hands down through heart center. Now we're going to make our way into 3 rounds of Sun Salutation A. Inhale and lift your arms all the way up high. And if you like here, you can take a little back bend, squeeze your glutes, opening the chest. And then exhale, you're going to dive forward over your thighs. Remember, bend your knees as much as you need to. Exhale on the way down. Inhale, you're gonna take a halfway lift. Now with the halfway lift, you can stay on your fingertips, presenting the chest forward, or if it feels better for you, you can bring your hands all the way up to your knees, really draw the shoulders back. Exhale, forward fold, again over the legs. Place your hands firmly into the mat. Step back one leg at a time into a high plank position. Push that mat away from you. Now I'm going to break down our Vinyasa flow Chaturanga Dandasana. It is quite a challenging move, and in this particular energy flow workout on the NTC app, it is repeated quite a lot of times, so it's a really strengthening practice for the arms when done correctly. So from here, I want you to inhale, shift your weight forward. So you want your shoulders to come beyond your fingers. And let's just gently lower our knees for this first round. Now what we want to do, just as I mentioned before, is spin your triceps back and your biceps forward. So the pointy bits of your elbows are pointing back towards your body. Now you want to bend the elbows and get the chest to go forwards beyond the fingers, so that you end up with a 90-degree angle between your wrists, your elbows, and your shoulders. I'm going to press back up again, and we'll do the full flow. So let's come back up into high plank. Inhale, shift your weight forwards. Either lower to your knees or stay on your toes, coming into your low plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, coming through to an upward facing dog. Upward facing dog, the tops of your feet are on the mat, your thighs are lifted off, and your shoulders are drawing back. And then you're pressing all the way back into downward facing dog with an exhalation breath. From here, rise up high on your tippy toes, bend your knees, look forward at your thumbs, either walk or maybe this time you take a little jump to the top end of the mat. Finding yourself here in forward fold, can you take an inhale and take a halfway lift? Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, standing tall, reaching all the way up. Palms touch at the top. Exhale, forward fold. Take a halfway lift again. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Step back, high plank. One more time. Take a deep breath in, shift your weight forward. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Shoulders draw back. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more round of sun salutation A. Inhale, lift up high on your tippy toes. Exhale, bend your knees. Look forwards, no breath. Step, walk, or maybe jump to the top of the mat. Take a halfway lift, inhale. And an exhale, forward folds. Inhale, standing tall, reach your arms all the way up high. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift those arms all the way up high. Exhale, take a forward fold. Take a halfway lift, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Step back, high plank. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, low plank. Come through to upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Beautiful work. Rise up high on your tippy toes. Bend your knees, look forward, step, walk, or jump to the top. Take a halfway lift, inhale, and a forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, standing tall, reaching up, palms touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now we're going to move into Sun Salutation B. Inhale, lift your arms up high. We're going to begin with a Vinyasa flow. Exhale, forward fold. Take a halfway lift, inhale. And an exhale, fold. Now step or maybe jump back to high plank. Shift your weight forward, low plank. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Okay, now from downward facing dog, I want you to remember, really push the mat away from you. So your shoulders are lifting, pressing up towards your ears, really lengthening your arms. You're drawing your lower ribs in and maybe tilting your tailbone up towards the sky to really lengthen through your hamstrings. I want you to inhale and lift your right leg up high, three-legged dog now. Now in three-legged dog, try not to turn the leg out, but instead can you keep it parallel. I want you to rise up high on your left tippy toes and then bring your right knee into your chest, as close up into your chest as you can, while taking your chest forward over your hands. From here, we're going to step heel toe between our hands. Now, if you struggle to do that, what I want you to do is lower the back knee, then step the foot forward and then return to your lunge. I know a lot of people struggle with that one when you're starting out with yoga. That's totally fine to lower the knee. From here, we're going to come up into warrior one. What I want you to do is lower your back heel, so the back foot is slightly turned out. And if you could, you'd be able to draw a straight line from your front heel to your back heel. So just double check your alignment there. From here, push into the legs, lift your arms up, palms touch at the top. Try and keep your pelvis square towards the front leg, so your knees tracking in line with your toes. Maybe here you can look up and maybe even take a little bit of a back bend. Hold and breathe. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, take your arms down either side of your front foot. Now you're going to turn your back foot back into parallel and step back into downward facing dog. Good. Coming through a vinyasa flow here, ripple forwards, high plank. Elbows in, low plank. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Okay. Moving into the left leg. Inhale, left leg lifts up high. Hold. Rise up high on your right tippy toes. Keep pushing through your arms. Bring your left knee into your chest. Take your chest forward over your hands. Step heel toe between your hands. Lower your back heel down so the back foot is slightly turned out. Make sure your front knee is above the front ankle. Lift your arms up. Inhale, warrior one. Can you take your gaze up there? Hold, lift the shoulders up towards your ears. Hold and breathe, maybe sink a little deeper into the front knee. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, take the hands down either side of your front foot. Turn your back foot back into parallel. Step back, downward facing dog. We have another vinyasa flow. If this is getting too much for your arms and your shoulders, you can simply come to high plank and meet us back in downward dog. Or if you're coming with me, high plank, coming through the flow, low plank, upward facing dog, chest forward, downward facing dog. Coming to the top of the mat. Bring your feet together so your toes touch, heels touch. Push your shoulders up towards your ears. Rise up high on your tippy toes, bend your knees. Look forward at your hands. Can you jump to the top end of your mat? Take a halfway lift, inhale. You don't have to jump, you can just walk if you don't want to. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, standing tall, reach the arms all the way up high. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up, maybe a bit of a back bend here. Exhale, forward fold over the thighs. Take a halfway lift. Inhale, lengthen, chest forward. Remember, you can always take your hands to your shins. Exhale, forward fold. Step or jump back, high to low plank. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog, pressing back. Second round with sun salutation B. Push your shoulders up towards your ears. Inhale, lift your right leg up high to the sky. Rise up high on your left toes. Bring your right knee to your chest. Really push the mat away from you. Step heel toe between your hands. Lower your back heel. Inhale, lift the arms up. Warrior one, look up, reach up. Inhale. Exhale, take the arms down, either side of your front foot. Step back, downward facing dog. Ripple forwards, high plank, low plank, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Remember, you can skip the Chaturanga Dandasana and just go straight to downward dog, or even rest in child's pose at any time. Left leg lifts, inhale. Rise up high on your tippy toes. Round your spine. Exhale as you step. Left foot forward in between your hands. Lower your right heel. Inhale, lift both arms up high. Look up, reach up. Exhale, take your hands down either side of your front foot and step back. Downward facing dog. Vinyasa flow, or we meet in downward dog. Come forwards, high plank, low plank, upward facing, shoulders back, downward facing. Bring your feet together, touching, step, walk, or jump to the top of your mat. Take a halfway lift, inhale, and an exhale, fold. Inhale, stand tall, reach up, maybe a little back bend here. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift up high, maybe a little back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Take a halfway lift, inhale, and a forward fold. Exhale, step, walk or jump back. High plank, knees or toes, low plank. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. We've got our final round of sun salutation B. Inhale, lift your right leg up high to the sky. Exhale, knee to chest. Step heel toe between your hands. Warrior one, inhale, lift the arms up. Back heel lowers, reach up. Look up, maybe lean back. Exhale, take your hands down either side of your front foot. Step back, downward facing dog. Come through, optional Vinyasa flow, high plank, low plank, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Other side, left leg. Inhale, left leg lifts up high to the sky. Exhale, knee to chest. Push the mat away from you. Step heel toe between your hands. Lower your back heel. Inhale, lift up, warrior one. Exhale, hands down either side of your front foot. Step back, downward facing dog. Ripple forwards, high plank. Optional Vinyasa flow. We meet in downward dog. Low plank or child's pose is always there for you to rest. Upward facing dog. Really important that you honor your body. Downward facing dog. Rise up high on your tippy toes. Step, walk or jump to the top end of your mat. If you're jumping, I like to bring the feet together. Look between your thumbs, maybe take a little step in closer to your hands so that you've got more weight in your arms. Bend your knees and jump. Take a halfway lift. Forward fold. Inhale, standing tall, reaching up high. Maybe a little back bend, squeeze your glutes. Exhale, hands to heart center. Close your eyes for a few moments. And can you reflect back on that mantra that you created at the beginning of your practice? Feel your heart beating. See if you can slow down your breaths, making every breath a little bit longer than the one before it. Okay, guys, we're going to come now into our horse flow. Opening your eyes, and I want you to step your left foot back, and we're going to turn our body to the side of the mat. So we're coming into this wide-legged stance here. So you want your feet to be wider, I would say, than your shoulders. And from here, guys, stand up nice and tall. Have a little bend in your knees, and we're going to start to hinge forwards from the hips. So you're sinking your hips backwards and your chest forward. And then taking your hands down to the floor. Bend your elbows if you can. Relax your head completely. Maybe you can start to straighten out the legs here. So a really nice lengthening position for the hamstrings. Can you relax the head, maybe turn it side to side a little, make sure you're not holding any tension. And can you start to play around with the placement of your weight? Is your weight more in your heels or in your toes? And see if you can maybe take a few rocks forward and back. I'm just learning about our body and ourselves and where we like to place our weight. And you might notice that the more weight you place in the toes generally, the more hamstring stretch you're going to feel. From here, bending the knees, take your hands back onto your hips. Start to pull your body all the way back up. From here, I want you to turn your feet out and bend your knees. So coming into this goddess pose, nice wide stance squat. We want our body to be up nice and straight. Can you bring your hands to heart center, open the chest, shoulders back. Maybe sink a little deeper, feeling the fire and the burn in the legs. Breathe and hold. From here, can you lift the arms all the way up, straightening the legs. Reach your hands up high for this high pyramid, looking up at your hands. And now we're going to come into Warrior Two, facing the other end of our mat. So I want you to turn the right foot in, turn that left one out, bend your left knee, spread your arms out wide, Warrior Two. You want your front knee tracking over your ankle. Spread your arms out wide, sink nice and low and look forward over your fingertips. From here, flip your front palm. And we're going to come all the way back up into our pyramid pose. So feet turn forwards again, looking up at your fingers. Beautiful, guys. Turn the front leg out, facing forward, Warrior Two the other way. And then we're going to just step that left foot forward, coming to the top end of our mat. Take a deep breath here. And let's do it all on the other side. So stepping the right foot out, wide-legged stance. Take your hands onto your hips. Little bend of the knees. Start to fold forwards over your legs. Can you reach your hands to the floor? Relaxing head, neck and shoulders here. Lengthening through the legs. Start to play around with your weight forward and back, into the toes, into your heels. See how this feels here for you. Deep breaths. Maybe you can start to get your head to touch the floor. That's the goal. See how you go. Little bend of your knees, hands on your hips, coming all the way back up very carefully. Beautiful. From here, turning the feet out. Take your goddess pose, bend the knees track over the toes. Can you bring your hands to heart center? Roll your shoulders back, opening the collarbone. Can you sink deeper? Feel the fire in the legs. Really important that you squeeze your glutes here to help with the external rotation of your legs. Hold and breathe. Inhale, come all the way up high. Reach your arms up and look at your thumbs. Turn your left foot parallel. Turn your right foot out. Come into Warrior Two, facing the other way. So your right knee is bent. It's tracking over your ankle. And the back edge of your left foot is pushing into the mat. Ribs in, belly in, lower back long. Can you sink a little deeper into the front leg? Flip your front palm. Turn your feet back to parallel, reaching up, pyramid. Turn your left foot out, come into Warrior Two the other side. Drishti, gaze, is forward over your front hand. And then stepping your back foot to the front. Take a slow, deep breath here. Inhale, lift your arms all the way up high. Exhale, take a forward fold. Take a halfway lift just to lengthen your spine. Take a forward fold. Place your hands on the mat, bend your knees as much as you need to. You're going to walk your legs halfway back along the mat, just halfway. So it's not a downward dog, it's just halfway. And then I want you to take your feet out as wide as the mat is. We're coming to our frog, crow, flow. From here, turn your feet out slightly and start to sink your hips down towards the mat. Knees track out over your toes into frog or yogi squat as it's also called. Really start to sink your tailbone down. Can you get your elbows on the insides of your thighs and bring your hands to heart center. You start to open your chest here. So I like to press the hands together and you're feeling the legs pressing into the arms, working the external rotation. Hold and breathe. From here, guys, quite a challenging pose. We're going to give it a go. You're going to take your hands onto the mat in front of you. We're moving into crow. What you're going to do is lift up high on your tippy toes. And I like to bring my feet in a little closer again. Just a little closer together. What we're aiming for now is for our knees to connect with our upper arms. So knees connect with the upper arms, so you need to lean forwards a little here. And then bending your elbows, taking your chest forwards. Can you take one foot off the floor? And then maybe also the other foot off the floor. Can you get your big toes to touch, hold and balance? See how long you can balance this for. If this is out of reach for you today, just stay in that frog pose. And then gently coming back into frog, hands together. Deep breaths. So this takes a lot of upper body strength, a lot of core strength here as well. Really honor where your body's at. We're going to give it one more go. So hands to the mat. Lift up high on your tippy toes. Bring your feet maybe a little closer. I certainly need to. Those legs are still in external rotation. You're going to connect your knees with the tops of your arms. Take your body weight forwards. Look forwards. Really important that you keep looking forwards beyond the top end of your mat. Can you bring the big toes to touch? Can you squeeze your heels in towards your bottom? Hold and breathe. Slowly come back down. Frog pose. Nice deep breaths. Can you push through your legs, standing all the way back up? Inhale, reach your arms up high. Exhale, hands to heart center as you walk to the top end of your mat. We're now coming into our reverse warrior flow. I want you to step your left foot back. Straight away, we're coming into warrior two. So it's a nice big step back. Spread your arms out wide, look forward over your front fingers. Make sure your front knee is tracking over your heel. Coming into reverse warrior. Flip your front palm. Inhale, reverse warrior. So it's a big stretch backwards and sideways. You can place the opposite hand gently on the back leg. Keep bending your front knee. Breathe here. Feeling the length through the side of your body, looking up towards the sky. The top palm of your hand faces down towards the floor. Deep breaths. Take one more deep inhalation breath. Exhale, cartwheel your arms down either side of your front foot. Step back to downward facing dog. Walk your feet up to the top end of the mat. Inhale, stand up tall. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Let's do it on the other side. Step your right leg back. Warrior two, arms out wide. Bend your front knee over the ankle. Common mistake here is for this knee to be rolling inwards. So really make sure that's not happening by squeezing your glutes of the front leg. Flip your front palm. Inhale, reverse warrior, reaching up and back. Lengthening through the side of your body. Keep bending the front knee deeply, looking up towards the sky. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, cartwheel your arms down either side of your front foot. Can you step back into downward facing dog? Look forward at your hands and walk your feet back up to the top end of your mat. Stand up tall, inhale, reaching your arms up high. And exhale, hands through heart center. Coming through one Vinyasa flow here. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up high. Exhale, forward fold. Take a halfway lift, inhale. And a forward fold, exhale. Step or jump, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Rise up high on your tippy toes. Bend your knees, push firmly through the arms. Step, walk or jump to the top. Take a halfway lift. A forward fold. Inhale, standing up tall, reach your arms all the way up high. Exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful, guys. Coming back into our horse flow now. You're going to step your left leg back, turn to face the side of the room. We're going to move a little faster now, a little more flowing. You're going to take your arms out wide here if you like. Little bend of the knees coming all the way down to the mat. Slow, steady, deep breaths. As you inhale, coming all the way back up. Turn your feet out. Come into your goddess pose, sinking your hips down low, chest up, long straight back. Hands to heart center. Can you sink a little bit deeper? One more deep breath. Inhale, come up high, reach your arms up. Exhale, come into warrior two, facing the back of your mat. Hold for one breath. Flip your front palm. Inhale, come all the way back up. And exhale over to the other side, warrior two. Step the left foot forwards. Other side, right leg steps back, turn the other way. Inhale, reach the arms out. Exhale, forward fold. Maybe you want to grab a hold of your ankles. Maybe you can start to send your head down towards the floor. It's up to you. Lots of options for lots of different levels. Bend your knees, slowly coming all the way back up. Turn your feet out, sink down into your goddess. Knees tracking over toes. Can you sink deeper? Bring your hands to heart center. Relax the shoulders back and down. Deep breath. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up high as you straighten your legs. Look up at your fingers. Exhale, turn your left foot in to turn your right foot out, coming into warrior two, facing the back end of your mat. Flip your front palm. Inhale, come back through the middle. Back into warrior two, facing the front end of your mat, looking forward over your fingers. Step forwards to the front end of your mat. All right, guys, inhale, reach your arms up high. Exhale, take a forward fold. Walk your feet back. Halfway down your mat. Take your feet out as wide as your mat is. Start to sink your hips down towards the floor. Coming into your frog again, second round. Chest opens, knees push into the arms. Really press your hands together, opening your chest. Let's try crow if you want to. It's optional. Take your hands to the mat. Come up high on your tippy toes. Bring your knees in so they're touching the tops of your arms near your armpits. Start to bend the elbows, take your chest forwards. Can you squeeze one heel in towards your bottom? Maybe the other heel in as well. Toes touch, hold and breathe. And then gently come back down into your frog. Bottom down to the floor, chest up, open the chest, heart forward. Let's remind ourselves of our mantra. Round two, here we go. Hands to the mat. Lift up high on your tippy toes. Bring your feet in a little closer together. Let's get the elbows bending back towards our body. The knees hugging in tight. Maybe one heel towards your butt. Maybe both. Squeeze the big toes to touch. Keep your gaze forwards at the front end of your mat. And when you've had enough, slowly come back to your frog, your yogi squat. Push through your legs. Inhale, stand up tall. Exhale, walking back to the front end of our mat. Coming into our reverse warrior flow. Step your left leg back. Warrior two, nice and strong. Make sure your front knee is tracking over your ankles. Spread the arms out wide. Flip your front palm. Inhale, reverse warrior, looking up. Now, if you want to, option to take the back hand behind your back, and maybe you can get the back of your left hand to wrap all the way around to the front of your right hip. Keep reaching back and looking up. Deep breaths. Awesome, guys. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down either side of your front foot. Step your right leg back to downward facing dog. Walk your feet up to the top end of your mat. Inhale, stand up tall. Exhale, hands to heart center, other side. Step your right leg back. Inhale. Sink low into this warrior two. Flip your front palm. Inhale, reverse warrior. Option to take your right hand behind your back. Make sure you're reaching back with the top arm and forwards with the front knee. Turn your head. Can you look up towards the ceiling? Take a deep breath in. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down either side of your front foot. And then stepping back to downward facing dog. Walk your feet all the way up to the top end of your mat. Bend the knees, inhale, standing up tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. Coming into one Vinyasa flow. Inhale, lift your arms up high. Exhale, forward folds. Take a halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward. Step, walk, or jump back, high to low plank. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Nice deep breath here in downward dog. Push your shoulders up towards your ears, push the mat away from you, low ribs draw in. From here, lift your right leg up high to the sky, inhale. Exhale, bring your knee to your chest. Can you now lower your right knee behind your right wrist? And we're coming into half pigeon pose. I want you to take your right foot away from your body as much as you can. We want to try and get our front shin parallel to the front end of the mat. Lower the back leg down. And then can you start to lay yourself down along the floor in front of you. Now, this is a challenging pose for many people, including myself, because it's a really big stretch for your glutes and there's a lot of torque on the knee. So if you're having any knee pain, back off a little, grab a prop like a cushion or a yoga block, and I want you to place it underneath your right leg, underneath your right butt, and then maybe hinging forwards. And this has helped me a lot, this technique. Alternatively, if you are quite loose in the hips, maybe your foot is really far forward and it's parallel to the front end of the mat, and that's where I am in my dreams. Hold and breathe. Really try to surrender here. So what can happen is as we take our body into deeper and deeper stretches, our body can start to try and protect itself if it thinks it's in danger and hold on and grip onto things that aren't needed. So I want you to make a conscious effort to relax. To really surrender down into the floor, into the mat. Slowly start to walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Remove any prop you may have underneath you. Retuck the back toes under. Push through your arms. You're going to lift your right leg back up into three-legged dog. Send your left heel down to the floor. And this time you're allowed to turn the top leg out. So turn it out while keeping the shoulders square. And can you bend your right knee so you're squeezing your right heel in towards your bottom. Push through the arms, scorpion pose. Fold your right leg down. Let's move into the other side now. Left leg lifts up, three-legged dog, inhale. Rise up high on your right toes, bring your left knee into your chest. Can you step your left knee forwards behind your left wrist, coming into half pigeon on the other side. So start by sitting up tall. Remember, prop underneath your butt is always going to help you if you need it. Coming forwards when you're ready and surrendering down into pigeon, half pigeon pose. Check back in with your breath. Notice the quality of your breath. Is it slow and steady? Is it long and strong and powerful? Beautiful, guys. Come all the way back up onto your hands. Push firmly through the arms. Tuck the back toes under. Lift the left leg all the way back up. You're going to press your right heel down to the floor. You're going to turn your left leg out this time. Bend your knee. I've come off my mat a little bit. Squeeze your heel in towards your bottom. Push through your arms. And then lowering your left leg all the way down. Back to downward facing dog. From here, rise up high on your tippy toes, lower your knees. And we're coming into child's pose. Sink your hips to your heels and reach your arms forward. Now in child's pose, you can have your knees together or your knees apart. It's up to you. Coming into thread the needle here in child's pose, I want you to take your left arm, thread it underneath your right arm out to the right, so that the back of your left shoulder is aiming for the mat. Just feeling the length through your upper back here. Some slow, conscious, deep breaths. And slowly bring that left arm forwards as we move into the other side. Right arm threads through. Back of your shoulder reaching for the mat. Keep that left arm long out in front of you. Feeling the expansiveness of your rib cage as you fill up your lungs with air, just like we did at the start of the practice with our diaphragmatic breathing. Feeling your belly button, your belly rising and falling on your thighs in this position. And take your right arm all the way out in front of you for child's pose here one more time. Sitting all the way up here. Come all the way up into 4-point kneeling position and make your way through a few rounds of cat and cow stretch one more time. So starting to cool down now. Exhale as you press the mat away from you. Inhale, opening the chest. Exhale, round. Inhale, release. And I want you to sit down on your bottom, take your legs out in front of you. And very carefully, you're going to lay all the way down on your back. Now, if you've got a cushion, you might like to place this at the back end of your mat so you've got a little cushion for your head. And this is particularly useful if you find that when you lay down, you have a big gap between your neck and your chest. What you want to do is definitely use a prop like the cushion and pop it underneath your head to place the spine in a better position here. I want you to hug both of your knees into your chest nice and tight. Maybe really wrap those hands and arms around your legs. Maybe do a little sway side to side. And then from here, keep hugging your right knee towards your chest and extend your left leg out along the mat in front of you. Really squeeze it in nice and tight. From here, coming into our supine twist, I want you to take your right knee across your body to the left. And then maybe open your right arm out to the right. Turn your head to the right. Nice deep breaths here. See if you can keep your right shoulder touching the mat. And slowly come back through the center. Hug both knees in towards your chest again. Squeeze them in nice and tight, really lengthening your spine. Extend your right leg out along the mat in front of you and then take your left leg across your body. Can you open your left arm out to the side? Maybe turn your head to the left and try and keep the left shoulder on the mat. Slowly make your way through the middle. Hug your knees in one more time. And at the end of every class, every practice, before we move into Shavasana corpse pose, I like to take happy baby. So can you grab a hold of the outer edges of your feet, draw your knees back towards your armpits, and maybe take a gentle sway side to side. I've never seen a baby do this and be angry. I could be wrong, but I don't think I've seen that. And I think that's why it's called happy baby. And then from here, guys, you can finish up with any other stretches you might like to do, any final movements to make yourself more comfortable before laying your limbs all out long along the mat and coming into corpse pose Shavasana for a few rounds of breath. Closing your eyes. I like to use this opportunity to reflect back on the mantra that I set at the start of my practice, so I encourage you to do so now. Breathing in on the I am and exhaling on your chosen word. You might like to remain here in Shavasana, or if you need to get on with your day, give your fingers and your toes a little wiggle just to bring the life back into your body. Take an extra energetic breath in and out. You might like to sigh the breath out. Let's take one more deep breath in and out, and you can exhale with a sigh if you like. And then gently rolling over onto one side into a little fetal position just for a moment. Take a moment to rest here. And then slowly making your way all the way back up into a seated position at the top end of your mat. You can keep your eyes closed as you move into the seated position. You can be cross-legged on your bottom or kneeling. Sit up nice and tall, shoulders back. A few rounds of breath here. On your next breath in, I want you to bring your arms all the way up above your head. Your palms meet at the top. Exhale, bring your hands down through heart center, palms touching. Gently opening your eyes. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste. Guys, I really hope that you enjoyed the session today. As mentioned, this is the Energy Flow yoga practice that is featured on the Nike Training Club app. The app has 185 free workouts on there, so please go and download it. It's an amazing resource to help you make sport a daily habit, and you can train anywhere, anytime with amazing Nike master trainers from all over the world. Thank you so much to Stylerunner for having me on here today for the Stylerunner Health Club, and as mentioned, I'm wearing the new Nike Luxe Yoga collection, which is available on Stylerunner right now. Have an awesome day, guys, and please feel free to reach out to me with any questions you might have about this practice today. Bye for now.